President Akufo-Addo has advocated the inclusion of the African Union in the G20 to redefine global policy coordination. He contended that adding Africa to make it G21 would ensure the emergence of a more prosperous, inclusive, and sustainable world. Quote, admitting the AU to an expanded G21 will have the same galvanizing effect within Africa that the EU's participation in the G20 has within Europe, strengthening policy coordination and coherence across the 55 African economies, he said. President Akufo-Addo noted that with the AU at the table, the group suddenly would have representations for 54 more countries, 1.3 billion more people, and $2.3 trillion more output. He said that an extraordinary increase in representation would add just one seat to the table and about 10 minutes to the discussion. About 11% of structures in Ghana are metal containers, or kiosks, according to the 2021 Population and Housing Census. A breakdown of the structures indicated that 78.7% were conventional structures, 9.7% are wooden structures, 8.0% are metal containers, 2.8% are kiosks, and 0.9% being other structures. A little over 20% of structures in Ghana are listed as uncompleted. The preliminary report from the census indicated that there are over 10.6 million structures in Ghana. Of these structures, 80.2% are fully completed, with 12.1% partially completed and 7.7% of the structures with no form of roofing. The Northeast region has the most completed structures with 89.9%, while the Central region has the least number of completed structures with 76.3%. The number of structures with roofs stands at a little more than 9.8 million. Of the structures in Ghana, 57% were being used as residences. Police investigations have suggested that Josephine Penyin-Mensah, the said pregnant woman who was allegedly kidnapped in Takoradi about 2 weeks ago, may have conspired with other persons over her disappearance. The police in a statement said 3 persons have so far been arrested for further questioning over conspiracy charges. It is said the supposed victim, who is also now a suspect, during her interrogation mentioned the European hospital in Takoradi as the hospital for her antenatal reviews and assessment. Quote, medical records at the facility suggest that the lady visited the hospital without pregnancy somewhere in October last year, a statement from the police noted. On Tuesday, there was news that Josephine had been found in Axim, however without a baby bump, which according to eyewitnesses, she claimed had been taken by her kidnappers. Some reports also reveal that the pregnancy and kidnapping by the woman is false, but the woman's husband and some residents insisted that she was pregnant, leaving many with mixed feelings about the situation. A team of financial experts from the Bank of Ghana is assisting the National Intelligence Bureau to investigate how a 42-year-old man, Bashar Musa Aminu, illegally acquired 656 ATM cards connected to 9 banks for transporter business. The team has roped in the Financial Intelligence Center and the Economic and Organized Crime Office to expedite the investigative process. The head of the Financial Stability Department at the BOG, Dr. Joseph France, said he suspected that there were some high-profile accomplices who aided Aminu in the ATM fraud business. The NIB on September 12 busted Aminu, who claims to be a Nigerian, with the 656 ATM cards connected to 9 banks operating in Ghana and Nigeria. One of the banks are wholly Ghanaian, while the remaining 8 banks operate in the country but have Nigerian origins. Explaining the investigation process, Mr. France said the FIC and IOCO would also determine whether the ATM cards had been used for any financial transactions. Quote, "We will support the investigative team with the relevant aspects of the law to help them prosecute this case," he said. The first tranche of the $1.5 billion cocoa syndicated loan will hit the account of the Bank of Ghana by the first week of October 2021. This is according to the Deputy Chief Executive in charge of Finance and Administration at Ghana Cocoa Board, Emmanuel Ray Ankra. According to him, the payment of cocoa farmers and licensed buying companies should commence at the start of the next cocoa crop season, beginning October 1st, 2021. The $1.5 billion cocoa syndication loan for the 2021-2022 cocoa crop season is the largest soft commodity deal in sub-Saharan Africa and will be used to finance cocoa purchases and related operational activities in the crop season. The interest on the facility is LIBOR plus 110 basis points and repayable in 7 calendar months. It is projected to help purchase about 950,000 metric tons of cocoa. In all, 25 diverse banks, including Standard Chartered Bank, Societe Generale, and Ghana Commercial Bank, were among the lead arrangers of the $1.5 billion cocoa syndicated loan. The Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications has made a passionate appeal to the government to reduce the tax burden on the operators to help stimulate growth and increase their contribution to national revenue. The Chamber believes the sector has been overburdened with taxes, making it difficult to promote digital inclusion and economic growth. It said a reduction in the number and rate of the taxes would result in increased reinvestment to retool, expand network, and create more jobs for the youth. The Chief Executive Officer, CEO of the GCT, Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, made the appeal at the 18th Knowledge Forum by the Chamber in Accra. Touching on the contribution of the sector to national revenue, the CEO said annual growth taxes paid had averaged 28% since 2017. He said taxes paid by the sector rose from 1.7 billion Ghana cedis in 2017 to 2.2 billion Ghana cedis in 2018, before peaking at 3.2 billion Ghana cedis in 2019. South Africa's highest court has ruled that the University of South Africa's plan to phase out Afrikaans as a medium of teaching is unconstitutional. In 2016, the university changed its English and Afrikaans dual medium language policy to English. The university said it did this to address imbalances of the past and because of low demand for courses in Afrikaans. The policy change sparked a 5-year battle with the mainly Afrikaner lobby group, AfriForum, which mounted a legal challenge against the decision. UNISA is not the first African university to face challenges over its language policy. In 2019, the University of Pretoria also scrapped Afrikaans. Many have seen the language as polarizing, as it had been forced on black learners during the apartheid years and led to the Soweto Students' Uprising in 1976. AfriForum has welcomed Wednesday's ruling by the Constitutional Court, but the cultural analyst Professor Patika Intuli says the ruling means Afrikaans has been favored over the African languages. Angry scenes broke out at Haiti's main airport after migrants were deported to the country from the U.S. On Tuesday, migrants at the airport in Port-au-Prince rushed back towards the plane they had arrived on, while others threw shoes at the jet. Last weekend, the U.S. started flying out migrants from a Texas border town, which has seen an influx in recent weeks. About 13,000 would-be immigrants have gathered under a bridge connecting Del Rio in Texas to Ciudad Cunha in Mexico. Separately, reports have emerged of thousands, mostly Haitians, stranded near the border between Colombia and Panama. Chaos unfolded at Haiti's Toussaint-Louverture Airport as one man attempted to reboard the aircraft. The plane's crew rushed to close the jet doors in time. Algeria has closed its airspace to all Moroccan civil and military aircrafts, the Algerian presidency has said. The move was announced, quote, in view of the continued provocation and hostile practices on the Moroccan side, according to the statement. This comes less than a month after Algeria cut diplomatic relations with Morocco. The decision was arrived after a meeting of the High Security Council chaired by President Abdelmadjid Tebboune. The move will only affect 15 weekly flights, which link Morocco with Tunisia, Turkey, and Egypt. A source at Royal Air Maroc is quoted by Reuters news agency as saying, the source described the impact on RAM as, quote, insignificant, and said the relevant flights could reroute over the Mediterranean. Two players, Isaac Opoku-Agyemang of Ashanti Gold and Richmond Lartey of Inter Allies, have been charged for their involvement in acts that violates some statutes of the Ghana Football Association regulations. While both players have been charged for breaching the Premier League regulations, Lamptey's conduct is considered to have also violated the association's code of ethics. The two were dragged to the FA's disciplinary committee for their alleged involvement in match-fixing scandal that rocked the Ghana Premier League Week 34 games between Ashanti Gold and Inter Allies on July 17th. A statement issued by the Ghana Football Association said it also found head coach of the Inter Allies, Felix Aboagye, and two other officials of the club complicit in violating various provisions in their disciplinary code. The affected individuals have been given before Friday to submit their statements of defense pending adjudication of their cases. Black Star captain Andre Ayew has scored in his second successive game for his new club Al Sadd in the Qatar Stars League. Ayew scored the third goal for Xavi Hernandez's side in a racy first 30 minutes, in which the Qatari champions took a 3-0 lead by the 24th minute against Al Rayyan. The 31-year-old started the move after dispossessing an opposition player, before finishing off brilliantly after being picked out by Algerian striker Baghdad Boneja. It's the second consecutive game in which the Ghana captain has scored, getting his first goal last weekend against Qatar Sports Club. The former Swansea star is hitting top form at a crucial time ahead of Ghana's 2022 World Cup qualifying games against Zimbabwe next month. Ghana hosts the first leg on October 9th before the second leg in Harare on October 12th. R. Kelly is not expected to testify at his sex trafficking trial, according to a list of witnesses provided by his lawyers. The star's defense began on Monday after a month of graphic testimony from a series of men and women who accused Mr. Kelly of abusing them as teenagers. The first two defense witnesses said they had never seen Mr. Kelly act inappropriately towards underage girls. The singer, aged 54, denies all the charges against him. These include 1 count of racketeering and 8 violations of an anti-sex trafficking law known as Mann Act, which prohibits transporting individuals across state lines for the purpose of sex. Prosecutors have portrayed the singer, whose full name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, as a predator who groomed and preyed on women and young girls as far back as the mid-1990s, when songs like I Believe I Can Fly and She's Got the Vibe propelled him to fame. Award-winning gospel musician Diana Hamilton has disclosed that her new single, Eradiye, highlights every individual's declaration of faith. Quote, the statement, Eradiye, is way older than I am, because I grew up listening to my mother use that phrase, either the Lord did it or not, she said. She added that, quote, at other times, she would say God is going to do his thing again, or God has done his thing again. This was in every line of prayer my mother would say, because we were either trusting him for something, he was doing something, or we were believing him to do something. Over the years, we have seen the hand of God move mightily. The Adum hitmaker noted that her mother was healed of her affliction immediately after the release of her song and is optimistic that the Lord God will, through the song, reach out to many who seek and need him.